Welcome to Archiversity online lectures. In this lecture, I am going to show you how to calculate cash conversion cycle, that is gross operating cycle as well as a net operating cycle, using three key important items of a balance sheet and profit and loss account. For this purpose, I chose Hero MotoCorp Limited's 2019-20 financial year's annual report. So the idea of a cash conversion cycle explains you how many days it takes for you to convert the cash or your inventories, then sales, again back to the cash. Here, to calculate cash conversion cycle, we consider three key items from a balance sheet. One is inventories, second one is trade receivables, and the third one is trade payables. So inventories and trade receivables are your current assets, whereas trade payables is a current liability. Now to get your conversion cycle, first you need to calculate inventory turnover ratio. Using this, we'll calculate inventory holding period. And next you need to calculate collection period or receivables turnover ratio. In textbooks, this is called as a debtors turnover ratio. This is measured in terms of times. Then using a debtors turnover ratio, you need to calculate collection period. So collection period is calculated in days. Then the third one is payables turnover ratio. In books we call this as a creditors turnover ratio. This is measured in terms of a times, and using which you can calculate payment period, that is in terms of a days. To calculate inventory turnover ratio, we use an equation, that is cost of goods sold upon closing inventory. Then to get holding period, this is number of days in a year upon inventory turnover ratio. So here cost of goods sold, this equals to raw material consumed plus direct expenses, and average inventory you will get it from a balance sheet. So inventory you get from a balance sheet, whereas cost of goods sold you need to calculate using a profit and loss account of a company. So here is a balance sheet. Now it shows an average inventories are 1091.97 crore. So this is your inventory for the year. Then how is it you are going to calculate the cost of goods sold? Here the statement of a profit and loss account shows your revenue and other income, expenses. So you will not be able to find out how much of raw material consumed and what are the direct expenses. One thing is clearly visible here is the raw material consumed. So during the time period, the raw material consumed is 19,867.19 crore. But how about the direct expenses? So to get the direct expenses, you need to look at the notes to the annual report, that is a profit and loss account. So here you can see other expenses, that is a note 31, and we will see from note 31 what are the direct expenses. Now one is your cost of raw material consumed is 19,867.19. So this amount will take, raw material consumed is 19,867. Just I am taking it as a round figure. This plus your direct expenses you have to. So what I am saying is direct expenses you will get from a note 31. So we will go to the notes. Here is a raw material consumed, that is 19,867 crore. We wrote that number. Then your expenses. So we are saying that direct expenses. Here is the direct expenses are in note 31. So here stores and tools consumed. What is it we do is we calculate the amount directly here. So your stores and tools consumed 91.22 crore plus packaging forward 947.52 plus power and fuel 132.22 plus rent is not there. Rent is 23.30 plus lease rent is not there. Then your repairs and maintenance for buildings 26.50 plus plant and machinery 103.44 plus others 9.79 plus insurance charges to machinery, that is 52.53 plus rates and taxes 10.29. So 1396.81 are your direct expenses. So we'll take this amount here, 1396, let us say 397. So these are your cost of goods sold, that is 19,867 plus 1,397. So 21,264 is the COGS, 21,264. Then your average inventory from the balance sheet, you can find out average inventory is 1091.97, let us say 1092. So your inventory turnover ratio, this equals to 21,264 crores upon 1092. 21,264 upon 1092. So this is 19.47. Your inventory turnover ratio, this equals to 19.47. Then holding period, so this equals to 365 days in a year upon 19.47. So 18.75 days. We can say 19 days is your inventory holding period, whereas inventory turnover is 19 times. Now we got a one, that is the inventory turnover. Next is your receivables turnover ratio. So receivables turnover ratio, this equals to net sales upon trade receivables. And in an annual report, if you look at here, your trade receivables are there, which is a very clear one. Your trade receivables are 1,603 crore, whereas your revenue, that is your sales, is revenue from operations is 28,000, and you are not sure whether this is a credit sales or a cash sales. Now from when you are looking at an annual report of a company's, we make an assumption that all the sales are made on the basis of a credit, but here this shows the revenue from operations. Still you need to visit the note, that is note 25, to know exactly the revenue from sales. For this purpose, again we look at the notes. So your note 25, which shows revenue from operations, sale of a products, income from services and other operating revenue. Now to have a conservative estimation of trade receivables, we consider only sale of a products, that is 27,813 crore. So 27,813 crore is your net credit sales upon 1,603 is your receivables. So this equals to 27,813 upon 1,603. So 17 times, that is your receivables turnover ratio or debtors turnover ratio. This equals to 17 times. What is the conversion period, that is, or collection period? Receivables collection period, this equals to 365 days in a year upon receivables turnover ratio, that is 17. 21.47. So it takes 21.47 days to collect receivables. Now as we have inventory holding period plus your receivables collection period, these two will give you gross operating cycle. That is, inventory holding period is 19 days plus this is 21 days. So total is 40 days. Gross operating cycle is 40 days. This I am rounding the numbers, 19.47 or 19 days, and instead of 21.47 I took 21. So 40 days. Then you need to calculate the payables turnover ratio. So your payables turnover ratio equals to net credit purchases upon payables, that is trade payables. So your net credit purchases you will get from a annual report, that is notes to the annual report. So here is your notes, and from here we will see cost of raw material consumed. Purchase of raw materials and components during the year is 19,760 crore. So we'll take that amount here. So 19,760 crore. 19,760 crore is a purchases. Here we are making an assumption that all the purchases which are made by the company are credit purchases. Then your trade payables. So from an annual report of a company, you will know the trade payables. So here trade payables are 3,030 crore. So 3,030 crore. So this equals to your payable turnover ratio is 19,760 upon 3,300. So 3,030. So this equals to 6.52. 6.52 times. Now your payment period, this equals to 365 upon 6.52. 365 upon 6.52. So this is 55.98, or let us say 56 days. Now your net operating cycle, this equals to gross operating cycle, that is a 40 days, which is 19 days of inventory plus 21 days of collection period minus 56 days of a payment period. So this gives you minus 16 days. Now you are wondering why this minus 16 days is. If you observe, you are able to collect your debts very faster. That is, your receivables turnover is 17 times and it is taking only 21 days. That means within a 21 days, you are able to collect your trade receivables. Similarly, your holding period of inventory is only 19 days. Inventory holding is only 19 days. On the other hand, when you are making a payment to your creditors, you are taking a much time, that is 56 days. In the sense, you are getting an additional benefit from your creditors. That is a time lag that you are making a payment is nearly 2 months. So on one hand, you are receiving your cash very faster, and on the other hand, you have a flexibility of making a payment delayed by 2 months. Now this delay in a payment is not because of your insufficient cash. This delay is because of your leverage. That in the sense, because you are because Hero MotoCorp is a large company and which can bargain for a higher number of a credit period or credit period days from its suppliers. That is the reason why its credit time period is very high, because of which net operating cycle is negative. Now negative is not always bad for companies, especially when a company is a cash rich. So assume that if you look at the annual report of this company, the Hero MotoCorp, you can clearly see that the company is sitting on abundant of a cash. The cash and bank balance of 350 crores, then your cash is 93 crore, and your investments into financial assets is nearly 4,000 crore. So the company is a cash rich one, but still it is delayed its payments, not because of a willful delay from the company, but because of the advantage that it gets from its suppliers. In the sense, the suppliers trust the company and lending a more number of days as a credit period. Because of these reasons, the company has negative working capital or a negative operating cycle. So this negative operating cycle is advantageous for Hero MotoCorp Limited. Thank you. Thank you for listening to the lecture.